Welcome to the Raising Confident Girls podcast, your guide to raising strong, confident daughters. I'm Melissa Jones, the founder of Girls Positivity Club and a teacher for over 20 years. In a world where girls often feel overwhelmed, anxious, and confused, this podcast is your go-to space. As caregivers, we navigate challenges together. I founded Girls Positivity Club to provide a place where you belong and get the tools to face today's hurdles. Consider this your regular check-in with a trusted friend, offering insights and practical tips for meaningful conversations. I'm here to help you feel confident on this journey of raising a generation of empowered girls. Let's dive in and raise those confident girls together. Hey everybody, it's Melissa and welcome to Pep Talk Friday. I want to start with something really simple that you might have experienced recently. You're in the car with your daughter. She shrugs a little when you ask about her day, looking out the window. And then a minute later, out of nowhere, she says, "I was so embarrassed today." And you pause. Because from your perspective, nothing big even happened. So you say, "What was embarrassing?" And she says, "I don't know. I just feel like everyone was looking at me." And you're sitting there thinking, were they? Because to you, it didn't seem like anything that would stand out when she starts talking about it. Maybe she talks about raising her hand in class and hesitating before she said her answer. And maybe it was the correct answer, but she just hesitated and she felt everybody turn around and look at her. Or maybe she tripped in front of someone else when she was in the hallway. You know, that moment where you trip and you look around like, did anyone see me do that? Or maybe she said something that she thought was going to be funny and it didn't really land with her friends. And when she's telling you about these things, you're thinking, these seem like normal, everyday things. Like, I wonder why she's feeling so embarrassed about this. It seems like just a little thing that happened. But to her, it felt big. And then maybe later that same day, it shows up again. You're ready to leave the house for a practice or an activity, and you notice that she's changed. She comes out in one outfit. So maybe this isn't necessarily a uniform practice, a practice where you wear a uniform, but she has changed her clothes. And then you think you're walking out the door and she runs back into her room. Then she comes back in and something else. And you're like, what happened? Then she leaves and changes again. And you're thinking to yourself, what is going on? She doesn't normally do this right before this activity that we're going to, or we're just going to the park or the ball diamond or the wherever you're going. Because this didn't used to be a thing. Or you walk into a place together, a practice, a gathering, something social that's maybe one of your normal places you go, and you feel her energy shift. She gets quieter, stays closer to you, looks around more. And again, it's subtle, but you can feel it. And after you've had a few of these moments, you start to notice a pattern. It's not just one thing. It's happening more often. She's thinking more, hesitating more, second guessing herself in ways she didn't before. And as a parent, that shift can feel confusing and even alarming sometimes, especially if it happens all of a sudden. Because part of you is thinking, where did this even come from? And another part of you is wondering, is she okay? Is her confidence going down? And then there's another layer that parents don't always talk about. It's what happens after those moments. When the day is over and things are quiet again, and you think back on it. Maybe it's at bedtime. Maybe it's while you're cooking dinner. And you replay the conversation. You wonder, when you asked her about those things, like, honey, why did you change so many times? Or we're just going to the ball diamond or the soccer field or the music practice or whatever, like usual, like what's going on? Or you go to a gathering that you normally go, maybe it's church, maybe it's a family activity you do together, and you walk in and she is familiar in this space, and suddenly she's standing a little bit closer to you, and you ask her later, like, what was that about? And she doesn't really tell you much. She's just like, I don't know, I just wanted to be close to you. Or I just wanted to look good, or whatever she says. And you're thinking later, did I say the right thing? Should I have handled this differently? Did I help her when we talked about this, or did I miss it? Or if you didn't talk about it at all, you're like, should I talk about this? Did I miss that moment to talk to her about this? Maybe I'll just wait and see if it comes up again. And that's also perfectly fine. But it's being aware of her. And that part can sit with you longer than the moment itself, wondering if you helped her, wondering if you missed something, because you care. You care about how she feels. You care about her confidence. You care about who she's becoming. And that's why this stage can feel a little heavy. So if you're in that space right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not imagining the shift, but it might not mean what it feels like it means. Because what you're seeing isn't your daughter losing confidence necessarily. It's your daughter becoming more aware of herself and who she wants to be. And she's still figuring that out. And awareness is a really interesting thing because it almost feels uncomfortable before it feels empowering. There's a stretch where girls start to notice more before they feel confident navigating what they're noticing. And that in-between space, that's the part you're watching. That's the part that can feel messy. That's the part where things can feel inconsistent. Some days, she seems totally fine. Other days, something small completely throws her off. And you're left thinking, what is happening? And this is also where parenting can feel tricky. Because these moments don't happen when everything is calm. They happen when you're busy, when you're driving, when you're making dinner, when you're already thinking about 10 other things. And she says, I think everyone was looking at me. And you feel that split-second moment of, what do I say here? And most of the time we respond the way any caring parent would. We try to make her feel better. We say, no one was looking at you. You're fine. It's not a big deal. And there's nothing wrong with that instinct. That's what caring parents do. We want to take the discomfort away. But sometimes what helps most isn't taking that feeling away. It's just not leaving her alone in it. And that's a really small shift. Instead of fixing it, you can just meet her in it. Yeah, I get why it felt like that. And then just sit there for a second. Because what she needs in that moment isn't perfect words. It's the feeling that I can feel this and I'm still okay. And this is the part I really want you to take with you. You don't have to convince her she's okay. You just have to help her feel okay. And those are two very different things. And I know this part can be hard because part of you misses the version of her that didn't think this as much, that didn't overanalyze, that didn't hesitate, that just walked into a room and was herself. But that version of her isn't gone. She's still there. She's just growing into a new layer. And learning how to carry that awareness is part of how confidence is built. So if this phase feels a little unfamiliar or a little emotional to watch, or even a little heavy some days, you're not doing anything wrong. You're watching your daughter grow into something she hasn't fully figured out yet. And your steadiness in this season, that's what helps her find her footing, even when it doesn't feel like it in the moment. You're doing better than you think, and I'm right here with you. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining another empowering episode of the Raising Confident Girls podcast. Share today's insights with caregivers and friends, building beautiful relationships with strong girls. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. We're not just a podcast, we're a community. Follow Girls Positivity Club on social media for more empowering content on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. This podcast empowers you, supporting incredible girls. Let's create strong, beautiful relationships with the girls in our lives. I appreciate you listening today. Stay confident, stay connected. Until next time, keep raising those confident girls. You've got this.